Danger, Danger Cool Toy Review. That's right, we love robots here, and one of the most iconic robots in science fiction history is B-9 from the Lost in Space series. So we're really excited to have some samples here from Diamond Select Toys of their B-9 robot. And this is a surprise review because it's not one B-9 we're looking at, and it's not two B-9s we're looking at, it is three B-9s we're looking at. That's right, there are three versions of this iconic robot from different episodes that he was in. There's the standard version, it's just the universal B-9. There's an antimatter version, and then there is the Golden Boy version. So all have lights and sounds, they have several phrases, they have these great details of the original robot, and also the original voice recording of Dick Tuffield, who was the voice in the original series from 1965 to, what was that, 67 or 68? And then he came back for the 1998 movie and lent his voice to the robot as well. So pretty cool. They look just like that classic robot with that great dome, transparent dome, and then those little flailing arms. So we're going to check that out. All three versions here, pretty cool. This one over here on the left, I believe that this is the standard version. And I think this was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, perhaps. So you can look for it there. We'll put up a link if we can find it. It might be available other fan channels as well. These two you can get off of Diamond Select Toys and elsewhere. These were not exclusives. One was a PX exclusive, I think, or no, this is Newberry Comics exclusive. And this one was a previous exclusive. You know, previous you could order all your Diamond Select Toys products through. So either of these you could get there. As well as I believe they're also available on fan channels. So these are all available right now, so you can pick them all up, but we wanted to show you what your options are, give you a sense of all the voice files. I don't think I'm going to play all of them because there's a lot, but we will show you do a quick scroll of all the voices, and then we will give you some nice 360s so you can check these guys out. So why don't we come in close and start opening up some robots. Okay, well the box here has that iconic Lost in Space logo in the corner, and these are all the same boxes. They're going to have those other stickers on them, like I said, for previous exclusive. What is going to be different is the list of his phrases. So these are the standard phrases. Of course, it's going to have the iconic Danger, Danger, Will Robinson, but there's a whole ton of other phrases that you can see here listed throughout. We'll play a few for you, but this just gives you a sense of them all. I'm not going to play them all right now. And then you get a little bit on the back of the model of the B-9 droid and some features of him, such as his eyes light up here, and sensors blink. He has blinking lights on the chest. He talks, his head bobbles, his arms extend and move around, the claws move, and he has wheels on the bottom as well. So we're going to check all that out, but that is basically the box, and that's going to be the same for all three. I don't want to spend too much time on that. So over here, we have our B-9 robot. Now, B-9 looks amazing. I absolutely love the design they have on him because it's just this sort of futuristic retro look to him. He has these little plastic protectors that are on his arms, so I gotta get these off so we can take a look at him. They're gonna be one on each side, but he was just held in with one little cable tie in the box. So he has those wheels, just like it says in the box. Good news is he uses AAA batteries, so you don't have to look for those expensive little button cell batteries. Other than that, he has a switch somewhere on him here. I'm trying to find that takes him from standard to play mode. So right now, here we go. He's on play mode, so you can see his lights going in a nice random pattern. Kind of mimicking the on-screen look of the character. He has his arms here. You can extend them out and you can flail them around just like he does on the show. His claws open and close on both sides, so that's really nice too. But I absolutely love when he do that. In the show I used to watch this, I believe it was on Nick at Night. So back in the 90s, that was really cool to be able to watch these old repeats of Lost in Space. And then he talks.
The function of an environmental control robot is to supply all data pertinent to this particular field.
He talks a lot.
Cannot compute. Programming data insufficient.
So you can see the red light in the front will turn on, and I love his default, so I'm going to turn it to that really quick.
Danger, danger, Will Robinson.
So that is the line, and you can get him to say that, I'm sure, when you're cycling through.
The function of it cannot compute. I will accompany you. Due to worn conditions of memory bank. Emergency Emergency!
So he has a whole lot of sayings. I don't want to go through all of them, but you can have him in his blinking mode just like this, where he's in this nice display. And I love how these buttons are going on and off here. And then he has this dome, and that looks pretty cool. And look at that, it turns a little bit. So he has a little bit left and right, so he could move this a little bit. I kind of think these were his eyes and his mouth up here, but that is basically the look. But I love how the red comes on whenever he talks. So I think that's pretty cool that they have it all kind of synced up to how it looked like just on the show. And then he has that little rolling function. And then you could turn them to off as well. So he has all his different functions on there. So these other robots are going to be basically the same design. It's the same figure. They're going to be different paint jobs, and they're going to have different phrases. So we're going to check out those. We're going to go tune into Golden Boy next, since that was the second release in the line. And that is going to be based on the episode Cave of the Wizards. So let's crack open Golden Boy version of B-9 next and check him out. But first, let me give you a really quick 360 so you can see this B-9 and all his glory here lit up. You can see all those great sensors again on the front, and then just rotating around to the back. No detail there, just very blank and banal, but they still have colors on the treads, and that little finned area on the bottom that I think acts as a speaker around his waist. And then back to the front, and that is really it. That's all there is to see with the 360 design of this character. And just on the top, you can see there's one more light up here if you could not see that from his front view. So there's our B-9. Let's go check out Golden Boy. All right, checking out our Golden Boy now. Before we do that, we're going to show you all the phrases that he has here on this robot. I kind of feel like it's a little less than the other one. He's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 or 11 laughter on there. And the other one he had like 12 or 13. So just a couple phrases less than the other one. But still, this is more episode-specific dialogue, and we're going to see an episode-specific deco for B-9 over here. Other than that, though, as we said before, he should have the same exact features as the standard B-9 unit. So why don't we give you a quick 360 so you can check out what's different, what's the same. He has all those buttons and lighting effects as the other B-9. However, this time you can see he has this gold deco instead of the gray deco. Offset with that black, it looks a little sharper. On top of that, you can see that he has the same sort of back who has no decoration on it or anything like that. But that's really it. He just has this gold paint job. And he has all the same functionality as the standard B-9 unit. And just he has a preference on what you call him.
From now on, I would appreciate it if you would call me Golden Boy.
So this is the Golden Boy B-9, and he has the same arm functionality as the other B-9. So we're just going to switch him over to his full play mode. So now we can see his lights and little servos and stuff lighting up, and he's going to have more dialogue options.
I do not like grubby finger stains on my new suit of gold. From now on, I would appreciate it if you would call me...
I heard that one.
In my opinion, it is not Professor Robinson who needs psychiatric treatment. I forgot. You are brave, handsome Dr. Smith.
So it's got some fun little episode-specific dialogue, but still the same functionality as the other B-9, which why don't we just turn them on here and I'll show you side by side what we're dealing with. Should have the same setup. The lighting sequences might be a little different, or maybe they're the same. It's hard for me to tell. I'm not an expert on B-9 lighting sequences, but they look pretty similar to me. So maybe, I don't know, maybe not. If you're an expert on B-9, chime in the comments and tell me if these lighting sequences are different, if they're unique to this episode, if you remembered the lighting sequences. So that is essentially this B-9 versus the other B-9. You can still do flailing arms. You get some fun different dialogue options. So if you're a diehard Lost in Space fan, I mean, of course you're going to want more options for your B-9. And I don't know, I think the gold paint kind of makes it look a little bit spiffier than the standard gray coloring. So again, I didn't show you this, but the arms, I love that sound, go right back in as well, so condense them a little bit. And he has those rolling wheels as well in here, so those treads continue to make him move. And he looks sharp if you got your little robots here. You could even make him hold hands. So get your pair of robots in your collection. And yeah, just gives you a little bit more options with the dialogue to have a different episode-specific B9. Speaking of which, we got one more from another episode, and this next one is going to be the from episode The Antimatter Man. It's the Antimatter B9, so he's going to be all black and white sort of deco. So why don't we check him out next? And our last one here, the Antimatter B9. Apologies for the glare. Hopefully you can see this here. All the different phrases on there that he says. He's got about the same as the other one, around 9 phrases of dialogue. If you can see them here, they should be listed with the product page too to let you know each individual phrase. And then we have our antimatter robot right here. So he's going to have this black and white look, completely different than his counterparts there. So he's should have the same functioning in terms of the color scheme and let's give you guys a quick 360 so you can check him out compared to the other ones here. So right away you can see he's got this black and white look to him, like his yin and yang, almost a two-faced fun little look. Black on one side of the leg, white on the other, and then white on one side of the arm, black on the other, black body. Still no design in the back or anything like that, but he has all the other same features, except now this top little, I guess ears or whatever are just gray. So why don't we give you a quick little turn on here. We check out his lights. Now his light colors, you notice they're all white. That's the big change here instead of the colored versions we had for the other two. So it's an all white look. His arms still extend the same way. Now this one is transparent in this black, so you can actually see the wires in there. I'm not sure what the wires are there for. I guess we'll find out in a minute. I don't understand why there's wires. It looks like it's an electric wire to the arm. Well, let's find out. Let's do some dialogue and see what happens.
Do I look like a minor bird?
So now we're seeing this lit up green instead of red. The head still turns here. I don't get why there's an electric line running to the hand, because I don't see any lights or anything. But that'd be weird. And there's no way to control the arms independently. But that's we'll give it a whirl. We'll try to figure it out. The body turns as well. I didn't check that on the other ones, but yeah, they turn a little bit. This one, they're a little tougher than this one, but this one's body turns a little bit more freely. And yeah, he's got.
So you're the goody one.
So I guess this is the one where he is the bad guy. But yeah, it's interesting to see this transparent arm on here. And then to see the rest of this black and white design, I kind of love it. Oh, this kind of turns a little bit too. I don't know why you'd want to turn that though. Doesn't do anything, but the head turning makes more sense. So yeah,
what are you
just some
for, kid?
episode-specific dialogue on there. You got this great sort of black and white deco on this guy, gray hands instead of red this time. And then he just, you know, stands up next to your other guys here. Let's turn them on and have them next to him. Here we go. So you can see the color scheme completely different there in the chest. And then same with the standard one. I want to say that the light sequence is very similar on all three of these. It's just different colors from the paneling. So I think it's the same light sequence. But that is essentially it. That is what all three of these guys look like. That is what their different little attributes. The primary difference, of course, as you've seen, is going to be the color schemes, episode specific, and with that episode specific color scheme, episode specific dialogue. So if you're a B9 fan or you're really into Lost in Space, getting all three of these isn't that bad, because then you have all these options. You have 3 really cool robots to display. If you're a traditionalist, maybe you just want to go with the standard B9, which you can still pick up on Amazon and some other fan channel sites. Or if you are into something weird and cool, you got this great fancy looking golden one. I really love that color scheme on them. Or this antimatter bad boy one here, what has the transparent arm and this black and white look. So yeah, you got a lot of options with these guys, which is really cool. I just love the design. I think it's fun. I think it's the right size coming in. I think it's like 11 inches. So it's the right size to display. And I think he's just this great retro future aesthetic that is just really fun to have. So yeah, these are all available right now. So you can pick them up from a variety of different sites and then make your own little robot collection today. So that is our look at the B9s of Diamond Select Toys Lost in Space electronic collection. All right, and that completes our look at the different B9s we have here. All great options for you, depending on what you like. If you're more of a traditionalist, they have this standard B9, and then you have the Golden Boy B9 and the Antimatter B9. All of these are available right now. These two you can get direct from Diamond Select. This one I think was a retailer exclusive, so you're looking at Entertainment Earth, maybe Amazon. I'll double check where this is and I'll put up links for all of them. So it depends on what you like, or if you want all three. I think they retail around $50 a piece, so that's not too bad if you're trying to get some really awesome B9s with electronic functioning in them. And they got the color schemes. They actually light up properly when they talk in the voice box area. And they look awesome. They have some flexibility to them. They have the joints. They have the pivoting head, the pivoting waist, and then the tire tracks or treads, rolling wheels. So a lot going on here. Pretty cool. I love it just for the way this looks. I mean, look at these lights. It's pretty cool to have that on your shelf and have this iconic robot just flailing away. So yeah, pick these up now if you're a Lost in Space fan or a robot fan. I think they look great. That is all for this time. Of course, we're going to have more new products for you guys to take a look at, and we're going to have some more vintage reviews. So stand by for those. I'm going to have a mixed bag of vintage reviews. I got a Then and Now coming up. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll just say it's Masters of the Universe. We're having a 40th anniversary of that as well. So we have a Masters of the Universe. We're going to have more Movie Madness. We're going to have surprise vintage reviews, and I'm going to deliver on my promise to get to some more Toy Biz X-Men, celebrating that X-Men 97. So all this and more coming up, so stay tuned, like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.